Hi everyone, I'm Brenda, and today I'll be giving my testimonial in working with Kathy Nelson as my life and career coach. But before I begin, I'm hoping that my testimonial will empower and inspire other women who are trying to get to the next level of their career or their life, or they're trying to get out of this what I like to call funk and just trying to get their life in order. I hope that my testimonial will empower you and inspire you to get some help, whether it's with Kathy or with somebody else. So, I'm here to share with you my testimonial and working with Kathy. I'm going to address it by answering three main questions, and these are the common questions that I receive from people when I tell them that I worked with a coach. The first question is what was going on in my life where I knew that I needed to get help? And what was it that got me to this step? The second question is what goes on during coaching? For example, what do you talk about? What happens? How does it work? Some people just don't understand what a coach can do and what that means. And the third question is what were the outcomes, or what were the results of my experience in working with Kathy? So the first question, in terms of what was going on in my life. So I am in my early 30s, and I was in a point where I just gave birth to my beautiful son last May of 2013, and I went back to work September of 2013 full time. I was in a position where now I'm married, I have a kid, I have lots of responsibility, I'm trying to further establish my career, and I'm also female, and that brings other challenges in corporate world and everything that we do. And so I was at a point where I was just earlier this year, I was just lost. I didn't have a plan. I was irritated. I was frustrated. I just wasn't happy with who I was. It had nothing to do with my son, or it wasn't like postpartum depression. It was more about me in terms of finding my purpose and what my career path was and what I wanted to do with my life and where I wanted to be in the next 20, 30, 40 years. A lot of my friends will tell you I'm a big planner, and the fact that I had accomplished all of my goals in my 20s, I had accomplished and exceeded my goals, so it was fine. But now that I was in my 30s, and it wasn't just me, I have a husband, a son, and I'm also trying to do everything that I was doing before. I just got overwhelmed and I didn't have a plan. I hadn't, I It wasn't easy for me to write my plan out for the next 20 years. And I was just like so annoyed. And my husband certainly didn't like who I was. I didn't like who I was. And so that's where I began my quest. And I was referred to Kathy by somebody else that knew her. And that was kind of what was going on with my life, where I knew that I needed to get some help. And so the second question, in terms of what goes on with a coaching relationship and how does it work, in my experience, I had my initial consultation, which Kathy offers to everybody at no charge, because this initial consultation is to figure out if she would be a good match for you, and to also figure out what it is that you want to get out of the coaching so that you can understand how she works in coaching people, and so you guys can see if there's some synergy there. Well, my initial consultation with Kathy went great. Right away, I knew that she just had good energy. I felt comfortable talking around her, and she gave me so much great feedback and tips, and I felt just a million times better when I left. That's how I knew that my investment in this was going to be priceless. So I said, yes, I'll do the coaching. And from there, I worked with Kathy for 3 months. So July, August, and September, I had my initial consultation the end of June. And during those 3 months, I knew what I wanted to get out of it, and I knew exactly what I wanted help with. And so that's where I want to empower you. Even if you don't know exactly what it is that you want, be sure to share that with Kathy on the front end so that she knows how to help you. And the thing with coaching is that you really need to let your guard down and be completely vulnerable and just put it all out there, because otherwise there's just no way that she's going to be able to help you. And so that's how it works. And what goes on every time you meet. So she can either do Skype or telephonic or meet with you one-on-one if you're in the San Diego area. I met with her every week for an hour, and she gave me, I met with her actually, face to face, and she gives you assignments that are thought-provoking, that force you to think about yourself in ways that you probably would have never thought. She helps you to identify how you can actually make your dreams, or those big goals that seemed out of reach, now seem more realistic and reachable. And that's how the coaching relationship works. And a lot of it is you expressing your strengths, and she kind of guides you on how to make it better. And the only other way that I can describe the coaching relationship is similar to sports. So if you did sports in high school or play sports now, or you're a sports fanatic, they all have a coach, right? And the coach is not there to do the work for you. However, the coach is there to ignite the skills and the strengths that are already embedded in you, but for some unforeseen reason, whether it was fear or insecurity or confusion, you just can't seem to get it out. And that's really the way I see Kathy, only she's the coach for your life, for your career, for achieving big dreams. And I feel like there's some kind of a stigma with having a coach, and it's like, how does it work? And it doesn't work. Well, the truth is that it works, but it depends on how much you are willing to work yourself. And if you have any questions regarding kind of what goes on with a coaching relationship, you can reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to share what goes on. But it was great. Kathy is prepared. She's organized. She does guided meditations with you so that you can meet your future self 20 years from now. That was really great. And the third question was, what were the outcomes? I can honestly say that, if you would have met me a few months ago, you would have seen that I was just a walking bitch. I was just not happy. Everything irritated me. Pumping gas irritated me on my car. Coming home and seeing the slightest mess, it really irritated me. And I didn't like that. And now I can honestly say that I'm happy. I'm in abundance with love and gratitude and joy. And I sincerely feel like I've found my purpose. And I've always known what my purpose in life was, but going through this experience helps me to identify how my purpose plays a part in my career, in my role as a mother, in my role as a wife, in my role as a friend, in my role in the community. And that makes me feel really happy. So going into the coaching, my biggest goal was I needed to identify my plan. I also wanted to further identify my purpose. I wanted to identify my values. What are my guiding principles? That seems kind of easy, but I think it's really personal for every individual. And for me, I'm just genuinely happy. No matter what goes on, I feel like I have the strength and the courage to go back to that happiness and find joy in everything that I do. And I wake up every single day excited to embrace the day and embrace the challenges that are to come. So those were the outcomes for me. I feel like I accomplished what I went in there to accomplish. What you're looking to accomplish may be different, and that's okay. But Kathy is just very knowledgeable, high energy. She's motivated, she's encouraging, and she practices what she preaches, which is really important. So I just want to encourage you to take the leap and be willing to do the work, and you will be so thankful that you did it. So thank you, Kathy, and I hope that you get more coaching participants.